There are so many people asking me, Mr. Norcross, what is happiness? How do I get to it? What do I do? I'm sorry to burst your bubbles, but there are no secrets to it. There is no secret to happiness. Happiness, to me, over the years I've learned, is a state of mind, nothing more. It's my thought pattern. Happiness to me is not something I can seek out and find. It's something that's innate in all of us. And the older I get, the more I realize that it's not things I need to get happy, it's things I need to let go of in order to become more naturally content. When I was younger, I can remember really trying to acquire things through money, through fame, fortune, whatever it was. You try to accumulate things. We lack an identity in our teen years. That's why we latch on to whoever our friends are at that time, be it good or bad. And then when we're in our 20s, we're really trying to develop what kind of person am I going to be? What am I going to do for a living? Who am I going to choose as a partner for my life? You start getting in your 30s, you start to develop more of a groove. You understand a little bit more how life works. However, you still feel very young. Start to hit your 40s, you really realize, okay, I'm starting to go the other way. Life is short. Life is fleeting. I made a lot of mistakes in my past. I'm a little bit wiser now. Yet I have so many more years to grow. How exciting. I've realized the older that I get that happiness is not about what you get, but what you let go of. Because through those years of the 20s, 30s, and 40s, you also accumulate a bunch of baggage, whether it be through your thought processes, people you have met over the years, ups and downs that I've had in my life, relationships that I've had, the media, things like that, how much stuff is going into my brain, the books I've read, the people that were my role models, positive or negative. All those things build up. And then you hit a certain stage where you feel very set in your ways, and that's very dangerous. So although there are no keys to happiness, there are certain things you can practice to make you more content. These things have worked for me. I don't guarantee they work for anyone watching this, but maybe a few you have experienced. I encourage everyone to be very skeptical of anything that I'm saying or anyone says. Try it out, see if it works, and then in another year try it again. A couple of things that have helped me be more content in my life, the older that I get, is I realize that I need to let go, I need to log off, I need to get off of any type of computer or social media, television, anything like that. Really does help me. I need to get more back to nature, back to who I was. I have so many wonderful childhood memories of being out in the forest or being on the beaches of Cape Cod or being in the cornfields of Massachusetts, and I have so many wonderful memories. So the more I can do in my life to become in that natural state of being a kid again, I think is a key for myself, for my joy. Another thing that I work very hard at is choosing who I am around. We can't choose our family, we can choose our friends. So anyone that was negative in my life is no longer in my life. I choose to be around people that support me, people who accept me for who I am, people that challenge me mentally, people who I can share and communicate my feelings with. That's not always the case. You go to work, sometimes you're stuck with somebody that you just can't stand. You might be married to someone you're not crazy about anymore. But know that life is a bunch of choices. It's not going to be easy. There are skillful ways and unskillful ways to communicate if you're unhappy with a person in your life. And I would suggest not running away from that, but facing the problems dead on with supremely clear communication, telling this person or these people what you feel, who you really are, and then seeing if they accept you. If they don't, move on. What is your job? What do you love to do? Is there a way that you can educate yourself to be happy with what you do for 8, 10, 12 hours per day? If you can't, can you create a stepping stone to get to that position? A lot of people that I look up to who are successful, so to speak, love what they do for a living. A lot of us are judged. We are identified, and we identify ourselves with our job. That's not always the best way to go through life, but that's just the way life works. People will associate you for what you do for a living. I don't agree with it, but that's just what people do. So if I'm going to do something for a living, I'm going to do something that I love to do. I don't care what it is, but as long as I'm content and happy doing it. If there are times where you're working and you literally lose track of time because you're so excited with what you're doing, your job is wonderful and you should stick with that. If you're always clock watching and you're miserable at your job and you just stare at the minutes and you hate the people you work with, then you have to reassess your life and make some more difficult choices, or perhaps try to gain the education to get out of that job, maybe switch around some finances. There's no excuses why you can't change your life. Life is literally about change. So there's no excuse I can possibly give or use that holds up with any rational thought. If I don't like something I'm doing in my life, I change it. Or time will change it for me. Another thing we can do to develop contentment is to meditate. And I don't mean that in any spiritual or religious sense. I just mean spend time with yourself. Spend time in your own thought process. Meditation is about, matter of fact, the word gom means familiarization. I familiarize myself with my thoughts that are happening. Are my thoughts rational? Are my thoughts beating myself up? Are my thoughts having to do with my own personal self-esteem? Are my thoughts repeated thoughts of negative things that people have said to me over the years? And then what you do is you go through your thought processes and you try to find the root causes of them. Why am I thinking this way today? Why am I so sad? Why am I so negative? How do I change it? Can I become more happy, more content, literally by changing the thoughts that I think? Is it brainwashing? Absolutely. You're washing your brain away of the junk that you have accumulated over the years, or the diatribes and the negative things that you've heard on the news, or from people who were envious of you, or people that wanted to pull you down for whatever reason. I need to wash my brain, wash my thoughts of all the negative things. And again, that's about letting go. The natural state of happiness is about letting things go that do not serve or benefit you anymore. Having said that, the more selfless we become, the more content we tend to be. The more time I spend serving other people and taking my time to help my fellow humans, the more happy I am. The more self-centered you become, the more miserable you become. And that's just my experience. Try it out for yourself. I find the people that really are struggling in life tend to only think about me, my, mine, I. Those are the people that I just kind of steer away from because they're just so self-obsessed. They don't understand the idea of servitude and being grateful and thankful for whatever they have. And that's another key to open this door of contentment. That key is appreciating what you have. I am grateful every day I wake up. I am grateful for my health, which is so important to contentment. I am grateful for what little bit of money I have, and I'm also grateful for the bills that I have, because I realize I am living in a time in life, a time in the history of mankind where life is good, life is wonderful. We have the medicine, we have the technology, the science, everything is at our fingertips. We have the education of 1,000 men at our fingertips on the keyboard. What a wonderful time to be alive. Can you imagine being alive 200-300 years ago? You'd be dead by 30. My gosh, so going back to it, it's the gratitude of just being alive will bring about contentment. Watching nature, enjoying the people we're around, appreciating every second of the day, ups and downs, knowing that life is about change, knowing that right around the corner some terrible thing is about to happen to me, yet I am prepared for it. Not just because I train in martial arts, but because I've meditated and I understand that life is about ups and downs. It literally is a roller coaster. I'm happy now. I'm content now, but tomorrow it could all change. So I have to develop the tools so that when things go wrong, I have the ability to ride that wave and get through it. I have the ability to shelter myself from that storm that's coming. And by sheltering myself, it's the work we have to do on our mind, not just our body, but more our mind than anything else. To develop the shelter from the storm, I need to familiarize myself. I need to meditate on my thoughts. And I need to know what makes me content. These are a few things that have helped me over the years. And again, be skeptical about it. Does it work for you? What else works for you? Can you make a list? Can you write out some sort of little list of goals and dreams that you're working on to make you more content? Can you make a list of people that you love to be around? Can you rearrange your life or drastically change it so that you set up your life to be a more content person? Can you serve others and be content in the idea of being selfless instead of selfish? Can we detox ourselves from social media and Facebook and YouTube and television to just sit with the ones that we love and have a wonderful, deep, heartfelt communication and conversation? Can we have the guts to tell someone in their eyes that we love them and that we cherish every moment with them instead of spewing hatred and divisiveness? These are the things I believe that make us more content, more at one with nature, and more at one with the way things should be. That's a lot for one day. It's something to think about, something I'm thinking about on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Wherever you are, turn this off now and go engage in life.